Hello guys, in this video I'm going to teach you the procedure to pay taxes in Italy from home. Unless you have found an accountant that works from home, which is taking care about all the procedure and the payment process, in these hard times you might find it difficult to find open offices or professionals that help you with tax payments or simply to gather information about certain subjects. In addition, the Italian governments are enforcing the concept to stay at home to avoid, of course, the spread of the virus, so any unnecessary movements are basically discouraged or even totally forbidden, of course, for the time of emergency. In Italy, you can pay all kinds of taxes and the contribution for your pension with a form called F24. As you can see, the form is composed of 5 main sections. The first section is the section related to Erario. Erario is the treasury. Of course, before the first section, you have a section in which you put your data, your fiscal code, your surname, your name, when you were born, the sex, and the commune where you were born, and the fiscal domicile. This is the place where you generate your income. And here is the Erario section, is the section of the treasury, is the most important section because it's where we pay the national taxes. So it looks like complicated, but if we zoom a little bit on the column, here we see the first column that says tributo, which tells us the type of tax, the year of when you have to pay these taxes, and how much. Here we put like 500 euro. I'm gonna put 500 euro.00, and here instead is the column of credit, tax credit, so something that has been advanced last year. For example, we have only 100 euro tax credit. We can subtract it with 500 and then we have 399.60. So here automatically the model gives us the difference. We have an extra section which is called Codice Atto and Codice Ufficio. This is office code and act code. This is when you got like a fee from the tax agency because you forgot to pay some taxes, and then the Codice Atto is like the act code, is the dossier, is the file that you have to follow up when the tax agency is going to fine you, and here is the code to be put in case you have to pay this fine through the F24 model. And the code office is normally not mandatory, but here is tell you the code of the tax agency related to your file. The other section is INPS. INPS is the social security. Here normally is not common that we fill up this unless we are a company or an entity or freelancers. And then here it's like an accountant that for sure will fill up this section for us. And then for sure we have a way to pay this through the accountant. The third section is the regions. This is quite important because it is more common. Here you have a code, region code. You have again the same column, tribute code, year of reference, debit, how much you have to pay, and in case some credit that you might subtract with the debit, and here eventually the difference. And then this section, sezione IMU e altri tributi locali, here is about the tax property, mostly. Here we have the Codice Ente, which is the code of the commune, the Codice Tributo, here the year, the import, debit and credit, and the difference eventually. And here it's quite important because this checkbox is telling you if you have a kind of delay payment here, your property has been changed because it had some variations on meter squares, on works. Here the tax, and here the rest, the saldo, what remains to be taxed. And number of property, maybe 1 here, and here we're gonna pay that. The last section is the email. Here is the insurance for employee. And again, this section will be filled up only if you have an entity with employees, so don't worry about it. And here is the place where the bank or the post or the intermediary, the financial intermediary that allows you to pay the F24. And here is the total. This total is basically the sum of every single section. So how can you practically pay the final amount? If you have an Italian bank account with a home banking option active, you most probably can fill up the F24 form or model straight in the bank website under the voice Delega F24 or F24 standard model. In case your Italian bank doesn't have F24 model, or you don't have the home banking active, there is another option which is called F24 Web. This is a tax agency web page that allows you to fill up the F24 model and authorize the payment on your bank account. Of course, here you must first apply for the registration process to the Italian tax agency page before start using it. Another solution is to subscribe to the poste.it. If you have an Italian fiscal code, you can fill up the F24 model online and you can pay the final amount with your credit card. Keep in mind that all these procedures are also valid for non-residents. If you have an Italian fiscal code because you might have bought a property in Italy or for another reason, then you can pay the F24 model from the country, use the website poste.it, or from an Italian bank account if you have an Italian bank account for non-resident. But if you don't have an Italian bank account for non-resident, and if you don't have any account on poste.it, and you don't even have an accountant that could advance the payment for you, how do you do? Well, exists another option, specifically designed for non-residents and for those who don't have any Italian bank account. So this is a situation in which you're obliged to use the foreign bank account to pay the Italian taxes. There is a mechanism to turn what you have compiled on the F24 model into a single bank account transfer message. So let's have a look. So let's take this example. I extract this section, the radio section, the treasury section, and I transform this section into a bank transfer message. And basically, I will teach you how to transform this F24 model section into bank transfer. So here is the trick. If you don't have this model, you just have to build this message properly in order to have your tax payment validated. The first thing is that you have to put your fiscal code like c.f. like this, and you put your fiscal code after that. Then you use dash and then code.trib. This is basically this column, codice tributo, shorted, and here's the code right after. Then you put with a dash, you move to the next column. And for example, here we have the year of the tax, and it's 2019. Of course, we have here only put €4, but it should be more, of course, just an example. And we put the bank transfer for this amount of money. Of course, if you have a credit here, the saldo, this section would be automatically the result of the subtraction, this minus this one. And then you have to put in your bank transfer this amount of money. So now the most important part is how we can get the IBN, the bank coordinates. How do we get this? There is a website, the tax agency has a table in which you can find every single bank coordinates for every single type of tax. Now, the second section, the regions, works exactly in the same way. Here, for example, you have the codice regione. Here, there is no need to put it in the message because the bank coordinates already belongs to that region. So you just have to put the fiscal code, the codice tributo, here with this shortened version, code.trib. And the year, so dash year 2019. And here we pay only 50 cents, of course, it's just an example, and you make a bank transfer only of this 50 cents. Where did I find this bank coordinates? Again, in the same tax agency website. This is the bank coordinates for the region Lazio. So, and it is listed in this table. And here, how do we deal with the property tax or local taxes for your commune? It's basically the message is exactly the same principle. You follow the same principle. For example, here I put Rome. Normally here you should put the code of the town, which is H, if I'm not wrong, H501, something like this. But it doesn't matter because we have the bank coordinates of city of Rome, of course, and here you have to put the fiscal code, which is 3918, codice tributo here, the year of the tax, and the amount of money you have to pay for this tax property. And here is what you have checking in these columns here. Acconto it means, or you can also put ac, like this. You can basically follow what kind of how you are paying this property tax. It's just if this is just at the pre-tax or the final tax, or you have changed, you variated your property, or you're paying delay. So here there's other information, and you have to add every single information on this message. So this is the message that you have to put in your bank account transfer. And now the question, where did I find these bank coordinates? Here's different. Here is not exactly like the tax agency for payment of the region tax or the national tax. Here you have to go to the commune in which your property is located. So the website of the commune, it will tell you the bank coordinates to pay the property tax only if you are paying with a foreign bank account, and only if you are not resident in Italy. So this is specifically done for those who doesn't have an F24 model, or for those who cannot pay with F24 model. So in my case, I went to the Commune of Rome, and here in the Commune of Rome, you will find at the bottom for those who reside abroad here, and you pay the property tax, and you will find the bank coordinates. So filling up your F24 model is not an easy task anyway. It is always recommended to do it through the help of your accountancy service, unless you have to pay very simple tax, such as the property tax, for example. I hope you find this video helpful. You will find the description below all the websites and resources that I have used to shoot this video. If you need a consultancy on the subject, please send me an email at ESENtaxa@gmail.com and subscribe to the channel. This is because you can be updated always with Italian fiscal news for individuals and freelancers.